Welcome to
Insidious.
And I know this is CinemaSins thing, but over 4 minutes just to get to the movie? Like, what is this? Sorry about that. We first see Renee waking up, and I call timeout. Flag on the play, my nigga. I refuse to believe that she woke up like this. I don't see no eye boogers. I don't see line marks from the pillow, and there's no way her hair is this nice just waking up. Anyways, everybody's up getting ready for the day, and we see Josh getting ready for work because he's a teacher, and Renee gets the first signs that this house may be haunted because the books that she put on the shelf just so happen to end up on the ground. Then Renee goes to the attic and notices that objects are being turned on by themselves, but just was like, well, I guess there's nothing up here for me anymore. I guess I'll just go back downstairs now. Like, no, bitch, do something about it. Okay, I could understand the books being on the shelf and then they just so happen to be on the ground, but when things start to glow on their own, you gotta do something about it. Anyways, Josh gets home and plays with the kids only to leave Dalton out of the shenanigans, but that's okay because he gets beckoned up into an attic, only for there to be nothing but pain and sorrow up there because after he climbs up a rickety ladder, he falls and hurts himself, but instead of getting up right away, he gets distracted by what's in the darkness. I'm sorry, my apologies. So Dalton screams and Dumb and Dumber go and check on the most important character in this movie, aka their son. So after they get Dalton squared away, they head off to bed and then the next day rolls around. Deadbeat goes and checks on Dalton but comes to find out Dalton's in a coma. They rush him to the hospital only for the doctor to tell him that he's perfectly fine and they don't know why he's ill. Fuck. They take him to the hospital to tell the dude. Oh my God, I have the script. I have the script right here, bro. Just read it. Just
read, nigga, read.
They take that little nigga to the hospital, but the doctors don't know what to do with him because they don't know what's wrong with him, and they say that he's perfectly fine. All right, fuck, get out of my face. So 3 months go by, and Dalton is still in a coma. But this part of the movie is where shit hits the fan because stuff is about to get really paranormal in this bitch. No activity. I'm sorry, I had to. While Renee sits at the piano pondering about her lack of musical skills, a voice over the baby monitor catches her attention. And 2 things stood out to me in this scene. Number 1, it took Renee entirely too long to react to the situation. The moment you realized that that wasn't your husband over the baby monitor, you should have ran up them steps faster than an innocent soul at a Dave Blunt's crowd surfing event.
I'm gonna crowd surf during this tour.
I don't think you should do that.
And the second thing that stood out to me was, why did you drop your baby monitor? You could have easily put it on top of this table or just held it in your hands and ran upstairs. But anyways, Renee made it to her baby and everything ended up being okay. But later on that night, some more spooky shit happened while they were just trying to lay in bed. So Dumb and Dumber hear noises going on in the house and Deadbeat goes downstairs to check what it is, while Renee goes into the baby's room and sees that there's an intruder in there. And of course, in white people fashion, she takes her eyes off of the intruder, turns back around, and he's gone.
But wait, there's more.
The home security system starts to go off and Deadbeat goes downstairs only to find that the front door is ajar. So then he grabs a fire poker to, I guess, protect himself. But let me stop you right there. In this scene right here, we can see him clearly not close the door. Why? What sense does it make to leave the door open? Anyways, Papa Smoothbrain finally closed the door and that's it. Nothing else happened tonight. They all went to bed and the next morning rolled around. So with Dalton still being bedridden, the nurse offers to help some more, but Renee declines it. And the moment she removes the cover off of Dalton, she notices a bloody handprint.
You don't find that suspicious?
So with Renee going to bed alone tonight because her and Josh got into a fight not too long ago, she thinks that Josh isn't here enough and that he should be here more and that she needs his help, etc., etc. And like I said, with Renee being alone, these are prime ghost hunting opportunities because they know she's not gonna clutch no 1v1. She's hard stuck bronze. So with Josh hearing the screams of Renee coming from upstairs, he goes and checks it out. But of course, the Undertaker ghost is gone. And I guess that was the last straw for them because they moved in with Josh's mom. But even with them moving away, the spooky shit is still happening because when Renee walks past this window after taking out the trash, it's just some random boy in the living room getting sturdy. So then Renee and the kid end up playing the world's deadliest game of hide and seek, and of course she loses. Then Josh gets back and everybody sits down at the dinner table, and this dinner table scene is where we got the most iconic jump scare out of this whole franchise. And I'm not gonna lie, growing up I always thought the red-faced demon kind of looked like Darth Maul a little bit, but not as cool looking. Once red-faced demon leaves, the family notices that they hear noises coming from Dalton's room, so Josh breaks it down only to find out that the room's been vandalized, with Dalton just laying casually on the floor. So Josh's mom was like, I know a guy who could help. So we get introduced to a character named Elise Rayner and these 2 fucking idiots, and Elise is gonna help them get Dalton back from that fuck, I can't remember the name. Bad Place, I guess. I'm just gonna call it the Bad Place. So some time passes and Elise is about to get to work. She puts on this vape store gas mask, but apparently that helps to communicate with Dalton in the bad place. So Elise finally made contact with Dalton, but he's telling her to shut her yap or the bad people will hear her. And in true horror movie fashion, she does not stop yapping and they get caught and all hell breaks loose. A possessed Dalton pulled up on them like he was Pain pulling up to the Leaf Village and hit them with the almighty push. The baby demon came back and started licking faces, and Elise shook the shit out of Dalton, almost gave that poor boy whiplash, and it was all for nothing. They still didn't get Dalton back. They barely got anything on the cameras except for seeing the red-faced demon. But come to find out, the reason that Dalton can astral project in the first place is because he inherited it from his father, and basically the same thing that's happening to Dalton was happening to Josh back in the day. So the only other logical thing to do at this point is to send Josh ass in there and go get him. So with Elise trying to put Josh to sleep, he finally manages to astral project into the bad place. And I'm not gonna lie, it seems pretty chill so far. It reminds me almost like a low budget haunted house. But would I take my ass in there? Absolutely not. And I can hear it already. But Daz, that's your kid. That's your son. You gotta go in there and save him. The hell I do. And to that I say,
what's 17 more years? I can always start again. Make another kid.
So Josh manages to make it to an all-red room after defeating the baby demon from earlier due to plot armor, and inside said red room was Dalton. But this wouldn't be a horror movie if it were that easy, people. It would be considered a Disney movie. And not only was Dalton in the room, so was the red-faced demon. And Josh, of course, tries to save Dalton. But as soon as he gets caught, he's just like, oh, let me just stop everything that I'm doing and just go look at him real quick. Like, you fucking stupid, idiot, single-celled, smooth-brained fucking bastard. I'm spitting all over my fucking mic. Anyways, Josh gets sucker punched because, you know, fucking idiot. But due to nothing but plot armor, he manages to make it out of that situation. And when you couple that with the insane, astronomical, universal levels of luck this man has on his side, he manages to make it out of the bad place and escape with Dalton. But they're not out of the woods yet. Elise notices that Josh is acting a bit peculiar and manages to take a picture. And as soon as she does that, Josh kills her. And then Renee walks into the living room and sees Elise dead on the chair, and her first thought is to not call the police and ask for paramedics. It is not to go check her pulse. It's to pick up a fucking camera. But luckily for the story and the plot, it was the right thing to do, because then Renee finds out that Josh is possessed by the old lady that used to haunt him as a child. I'm really sorry that this video took so long to come out. I've been busy as hell. My wedding is literally around the corner, like a week away. The midterms are whooping my ass. I'm doing summer classes, and it's just, all of it is just stressful, but that's no excuse. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.